Hello. In this video I will show you how to fix Benjamin Marauder pneumatic pellet gun magazine. This magazine is also popular with other manufacturers and models. Even if your magazine looks slightly different, you can still benefit from this video. So let's start. This is the magazine and this is how it sits in the gun. This is how it looks from the other side. It sits very firmly in the magazine well. After loading the magazine into the well and firing your first shot, when you pull the bolt back to load the next pellet, the magazine is supposed to spin forward and position the next pellet in place. There is a spring inside the magazine which makes this happen. Since it is a tight well and the plastic magazine sits firmly in it, the most common cause of magazine not loading the next pellet is due to the external walls of magazines squeezing the inner moving part. It is a gear-shaped wheel that holds pellets and it is supposed to spin freely to the next position due to the spring pressure. Let's disassemble a magazine to see what is inside it and how to fix it. Use a good quality hex screwdriver to remove this screw. It might require some force to loosen it. After removing the screw, carefully remove all parts. This what you should have: a top clear plastic plate with a metal stopper pin, a screw, a spring, the bottom chassis and the inner pellet holder wheel. This is how the wheel looks from the other side. There is a small U-shaped notch here. Please pay attention to it. You will be placing the tip of the spring in this notch. Here is a close shot of the spring. It has two bent edges. Please look closely the direction of these bends. One goes into a hole at the bottom of the chassis and the other goes in the pellet holder wheel. If you want extra tension in the spring, move it counterclockwise and insert its bottom in the next hole. Now let's see why the wheel doesn't spin to the next position when a pellet is spent. There could be couple of reasons for that. 1. The top plate and the bottom plate of the magazine, when squeezed, doesn't allow the wheel to move freely. We can sand the wheel a little so it becomes free inside. Second, we can increase the tension in the spring so it pushes the wheel with more force. Tension in the spring increases if the bottom of the spring goes in counterclockwise direction or the top goes in clockwise direction. We will try both methods next. Take a fine grit sandpaper and rub the bottom of the wheel for a couple of minutes. You will see some plastic dust. Don't overdo it, else the wheel will become too loose. You can always disassemble the magazine and rub it some more. Also, be careful and don't rub the top part by mistake, which has numbers on it. Clear any plastic dust and lubricate the bottom of the wheel with some synthetic oil and then rub it off so it doesn't jam the magazine in the future by collecting dust. Also make sure the circular groove around the numbers is free of dust as well. This is where the metal pin in the top plate runs and stops against the ridge above number 5. Now let's assemble the magazine. Insert the bottom notch of the spring in a hole in the bottom container in such a way that the top notch is to the left of the pellet exit hole. If you want more tension in the spring, you can rotate the spring counterclockwise and use the next hole. Carefully holding a pointy object in the direction of the spring's top bent, lower the wheel so the spring's bend falls into U-shaped groove at the bottom of the wheel. Spring's top bend should fall into the tiny groove of the wheel. This is how it should look now. Now lift the wheel carefully so the spring doesn't come out and rotate it counterclockwise so it sits above the pellet exit hole, just beyond the little bend in the circular plastic body of the bottom container. The spring will try to rotate it counterclockwise, but that hump won't let it go back. You can increase the tension in the spring to a large extent by rotating the wheel another 360 degrees, but that might not be necessary. Now carefully put the top plate back and tighten the screw again. Test the top plate by rotating clockwise. It should go back to its normal position. The screw should be tight enough so the plate doesn't feel loose, but not that tight where it hinder the movement. Adjust the screw if necessary. Test your magazine. It should work. Make some adjustments if needed. If this video solved your problem, please like my video. Your feedback will help me make some more content in the future. Thank you for watching.